I didn't do anything because I was an intern, darling. So I had no money, darling.
Don't darling me. I darling people.
Pagar piso.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, sending a meeting request, like, pode arriver this time. Blah,
I
blah.
was like, oh, we should do a team lunch together. So in my head, if somebody says team lunch, I was like, oh, it's going to be like, him paying for stuff. Also, like another thing which is like very quintessentially Indian is you smash the cake.
Bite it.
But
And
what,
it's like,
bite what? Somebody cut the cake and I'm like, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Masala
and salsa with Andrea.
and Priyanjana. First of all, we want to thank our our listeners. Thank you for watching it, and you've been great, and we've been able to produce so many episodes. So thank you for the motivation.
What number is this episode?
This
Do you
is
remember?
Yes, this is number 7.
Oh, yes.
For this 7th episode, we are going to be talking about how it is culturally different in France versus India versus Mexico on things like going to parties, celebrating events, birthdays, get-togethers, and a very interesting thing called pot de départ and pot de arrivée.
Do you even know what is it?
Why don't you explain it to our listeners? What is it?
From what I've experienced, because once again, it's whatever we speak on the podcast is whatever we have experienced. So for here people, French people mostly, when they arrive, let's say you start a new job let's say, they call this thing or get together pot d'arrivée, which is the person that is arriving just to a company or like the new person is like, oh, let's get together at the lunchtime on this specific room, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to bring, I don't know, like chips or something like just to have.
So the
like,
person who has come has to bring the chips?
Okay. Yeah, it's not like everyone else is welcoming the person, kind of.
Okay.
This is how it's been done here in France or wherever, or at least where I experienced. But also in Mexico, we have this.
So what did you take?
I didn't do anything because I was an intern, darling. So I had no money, darling.
Don't darling me. I darling people.
No, but you know what they did to me because I was an intern? They said like, oh, let's go all together to the canteen and just eat together. It's like, okay. But everyone was just paying their own stuff. But other people more experienced and with money, they were like, oh, sending a meeting request like, pode arriver this time, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be food, there's going to be drinks and blah, blah, blah. So it was like, okay, cool. And in Mexico, we do, we call this pagar piso, which is like, if you translate it, directly is like paying for the floor.
You call pagar the salary?
¿Cómo?
Pagar.
Pagar, it's pay.
Okay, because pagar in Hindi, it means pay as well.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like more like a salary. Like if somebody says, "Tumhara pagar kitna hai?" So that'd be like, "How much is your salary?"
Oh, I didn't know.
Like, what? Pagar? What?
Yeah, I learned a new word in Hindi.
Yeah.
So it's pagas tu piso.
Yeah.
And you have to bring, I don't know, certain food like pizza or something to just share with all your teams. And yeah, that's pot de arrivée. It's something similar in Mexico. I don't know if you have something like that in.
So yeah, in India, like generally, I mean, I worked with smaller teams and bigger teams. So experience was bigger. So when I worked with a smaller team, they don't really cared about anything. Like, okay, she's here kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when I worked for bigger teams, the first week they were like, okay, let's all go together. And generally the boss pays. You're like the boss, the manager, whoever is heading the team. They pay and they organize like a little, like for my previous company in India. So my manager, she was like, okay, let's get, ice creams together. It was hot. So we all just got ice creams and it was more like get to know each other. And otherwise as well, like she would organize, I mean, it was not like a thing that who's going to pay because I have a sweet tooth. So I would always, after lunch, I would just go out to get something sweet to eat. So when I would go out, I would be asking everyone if they wanted and I would bring it for them. But regularly, like once a month, our manager would be like, okay, let's go for a team lunch, and we would just go, and the manager would pay for it.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because we are like in hierarchical
Yeah,
culture,
yeah, yeah.
and you don't earn that much like your manager earns.
Yeah, I think if the manager is nice, they will do it. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. But when I came here, it was so weird, like because again, I was an intern and it's a smaller team, so like the first day I just ordered food and I just ate with the other intern, and then I think after 2-3 days my manager was like, oh, we should do a team lunch together. So in my head, if somebody says team lunch, I was like, oh, it's going to be like, him paying for stuff, and it'll be like a team lunch, all three of us will eat together. I go there, and I mean, it was funny because I got my own lunch because I forgot it was team lunch that day.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, team lunch. And then, so I just brought my own food, and the other intern had her own food, and all three of us were eating our own food on the same day. I was like,
We're only just sitting together, no?
Yeah, I was like,
what?
This is team lunch?
This is what I was expecting. What's my
because-
food?
Yeah, because like, if somebody specifically mentions it's going to be a team lunch, you expect like,
Yeah.
I don't know, nicer food, or at least somebody, like the food is coming from outside or something of that sort.
Was your boss cheap?
I think he misunderstood, or maybe I misunderstood, but now later, like now when we go out, he pays for stuff. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, maybe because it's also his first time. It's a startup, he's worked before, and this is probably the first time. So I'm not sure how it works. I hope you're not listening to this.
That's what I was about to say. Hi, Priyanjana's boss.
Yeah, I know you followed us now.
Yeah, so I think it's quite the same in some aspects.
Yeah.
Well, also, not speaking about the companies, but when a person is gonna be the birthday of the person.
Yeah.
Here, what I've seen is that one specific person.
Yeah.
They speak with the friends of the birthday person.
Yeah.
And there's
So
like
friends as in friends in the office, or friends in
no friends of life.
Of life. Okay.
And they said like, let's get they start like putting money to get I don't know, like the big money amount to give to the birthday person. So it's like in Mexico we don't do that.
Okay.
I don't think we have done that, or I have done that. But here I think it's nice because instead of getting each person a gift, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just put the money that I think you're gonna be using for whatever you will buy later on. I think it's better than just giving the gift and stuff like that. That's my POV.
Yeah. For us, like it's a little different. It depends. Again, like if it's an office situation, generally, if I'm like super close with the other person, I would like to give a personalized gift, which is more like me and them. But what, like, at least in India, what has happened in the past is, so whosoever it's their birthday, they pay for the lunch or whatever. So it's not like contribution.
Yeah.
So if it's my birthday, I'm going to tell everyone, okay, it's my birthday today, so lunch is on me, or dinner is on me, or whatever, it's on me. And then everybody brings their own gifts for that person, depending on, how much it is. Because, you don't have that relationship with that person, but because it's a team lunch, so you can't expect that person to pay that much in the contribution, because, contribution will be equal parts. So it's kind of like a weird situation. So I get it, like having personalized gift, that because, I have a different relationship with every person.
Yeah.
Something what my manager would give me versus what my best friend at work will give me would be different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for some things we do contribute. For example, like if somebody's getting married so for the gift of marriage, then we all just decide to contribute, because we'll just give one big gift because it's a wedding.
Then you have like like this there are weddings in Mexico where people they're bringing like needles kind of needles, but it's not a needle, it's a different type of needle. Anyways, the couple that is getting married, they're like going table by table to in the party. And then there's like, oh, you wanna donate something like money or something, and then they start like putting the needles with the money
that's so cool.
on the others, on the customs of the couple. So
Okay.
but I think that tradition has already like passed, Not
So
many.
it won't happen at your
It
wedding?
wouldn't happen for me.
Okay, good. Because then I don't have to put money on your clothes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, if you get married.
Yeah, first.
If.
Let me get the ring.
All the single ladies.
I'm kidding.
Andrea's boyfriend, please listen to this podcast.
I know you don't like my jokes. It's okay.
Does he like you?
I hope. I mean, I hope I haven't been lied to. So, anyways,
Yeah, sometimes you like a person. I mean, you love a person, but you don't like them very much.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
What?
Yeah, like you love a person, but you're not
Yeah.
sure if you like them very much.
Tell us more about your experiences.
That should be another podcast, and first I should discuss it with my therapist.
Your intrusive thoughts in this time.
Yeah. So this is not Andrea's intrusive thought segment. This is Priya's intrusive thought segment.
Welcome to the therapy session of Priyanjana speaking to the camera, to you guys.
Yeah.
Any advice you could give, just comment right there.
Yeah, but what I was talking about is like the contribution gift. Again, it depends from situation to situation. If it's like a super expensive gift, then people contribute. But generally, it's like, single out gift. But when I talk about like work, the difference between work and like different life, it's birthdays. You go and celebrate birthdays, right? We have like, if it's my birthday, I'm going to organize everything. I'm going to pay for everyone's drinks. I'm going to pay for everybody's food, and people just show up. Gift is also a very like, when we were young, everybody would bring gifts, but now that's not the case. It's like generally people don't even bring gifts. Like if you want something, they'll give it to you. Otherwise, they don't wait for an occasion. But I think it's a difference which I've seen, at least in my experience. It could be different for others. My girlfriends, they would always give me gifts, but the boys would be like, yeah, okay, like yeah, it's a birthday, it's fine. Like they might like give me different things later, but like on the birthday specifically, like a birthday gift, that wouldn't happen. But this is what I've seen. It's a little different here. Like when I go out for birthdays here, you go out and you know everybody's paying for their own meals. I'm like, okay, like
yeah,
because which also makes sense, because like the onus is not on you to pay for everything, because it's your birthday and you are the one paying for everything. But here, like when I went out for birthdays, like it's more about spending the time together, and everybody pays for their own food.
Yeah. No, and probably like in the Mexican tradition, it's like, okay, let's go everyone out. If we go out for dinner or something like that, then everyone like said like, oh no, it's your birthday, you don't have to pay. Everyone is gonna put the pay for
it's
you.
It's the opposite for us. Like the birthday person has to pay.
But that's only in the case if we go out, like Mexicans, if we go out and like with your friends and stuff. But if you want to make a party, then it's like we'll put everything. So it's, I mean, you want a party, right? So you have to, your invitees only have to come, and that's it. Yeah, but at the same time, there's also like, when you go out for just drinking or just meeting people, like for example, my family comes, right? And I ask you to come for lunch. My family is going to pay for your meal as well, because they don't expect you to pay for your own meal. It's like, it's family and you're a kid for them, which I don't think so happens here. Like if I go out with a French family, I'll have to pay for my own meal. Okay. I mean, you're older, you're like, you pay. Because for me, it is a bit weird. I mean, I get it. That's how the tradition is here. But for me, I would feel a bit weird because, I've grown up with that thing that the older person pays for it. Like even when I go out with my cousins, if there's a little cousin, I'll pay for it. But if there's an older cousin, the older cousin pays. Yeah. So we have that very hierarchical structure. Even the older cousin might not have a job, but because they're older, they're going to pay for it. Yeah, sometimes that also happens in Mexico. Well, it depends. Like if we see like the other person has a better financial life or whatever, then it's like. But at the same time, everyone has to pay for it. But like when we are going out with friends, it's either we contribute equally, or we do it like okay, I'm paying this time, you pay the next time. So we have that kind of situation. And also because we contribute equally here, you
pay just for your own meal. But in India, like when I would go out with friends, we would just bring, like, have, if there are 4 friends, 4 different dishes, and we all share. And then you pay like the total bill, and then you divide it by 4. It's not like, oh, I ordered a pasta and that person ordered for pizza, so I'm just going to pay for pasta, he's just going to pay for pizza. That doesn't happen. Which and because I think we come from a sharing culture that like I think a lot of Asians would agree to that, because when I've hung out with Asians, we've realized that we are in sharing culture. So like if I'm eating, I'm going to like have a bite of their food. That's the whole point of eating together. But here I've seen like people that are so restricted to just their own plates that, okay, this is my meal, like what the fuck, I can't try that or what? Like, they don't even offer. So even like for lunches at work, we would be like, I still remember like when I was working in India, we would all eat lunch together. Like every day would be a team lunch, unless somebody has work or some other meeting, or they're not eating at the same time. But at least 2 people, 3 people would eat together, and we would put our food together and we would just share. And I had developed that some kind of relationship with people where if they would bring something for lunch, for example, like a cucumber yogurt thing, and like one of my friends, she would her mom would make this amazing aubergine spicy thing. It's called bengan ka bharta. Like I don't know how to explain it in English, but it's like squishy mashed aubergine, and I've never liked aubergine. But her
aubergine,
eggplant, brinjal.
Okay.
Yeah. So I never liked that vegetable, but her mom makes it so good. So every time she would bring that, she would bring an extra container for me, because, or she would like text me a day before that, oh, don't bring lunch, or just bring the bread because I'm bringing it. So that's the kind of relationship you develop with people. But here, when I generally have lunch, with my co-working space, so we're like 7, 8 people eating together, but we don't share.
Everyone is like, it's my own stuff, I don't share. Blah.
Yeah, and even, now because I've started doing it, so they've started doing it too. Like they'll be like, "Oh, that looks good," and I'm like, "Do you want to try?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to eat your food." I'm like, "I'm offering." Like, so now it has become a thing, like with 1 or 2 people with whom I'm close with. So every time we open food, like we exchange a bite. Like I take a spoon of theirs, they take a bite
we used
of
to do that in the school. Remember?
Yeah, but it was us. Like we were not with French people.
Yeah, that's true.
But here, like I've started doing that. So now that, so one of my French friend, like whenever he tries something, he's going to bring it for me. But it took like around 8 months to build that relationship. Whereas in India, it would be instant because we share food.
Yeah. So yeah, don't feel weird. You come to France or to Europe and you feel like, I'm sharing, but you're not sharing. So it's culture stuff. So
yeah. So don't think the French don't like you, because probably they don't.
Right.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with you, but it's just the culture. Yeah. And especially I would say, like, coming from India, because you're so used to these things, it feels very weird not to share things, or because you'll have that urge to pay if somebody younger than you is there, but you don't have to. And for birthdays, again, you don't have to do this entire thing. Like, one of our friends, she had a birthday at her house and she ordered pizza.
Yes.
Yeah, so she paid for the entire thing.
Yeah, that time I was like confused, like, are we gonna put some money or what? Yeah. Because sometimes that's
and you were the
like
only
what we do.
non-Indian person there.
So I was expecting for people to say, everyone is gonna be paying like, I don't know, €5 or stuff like that.
Okay, so here, like, we could all have got a personalized gift for. So few people got personalized gift for her, and she wanted a pair of boots. Okay. So 5 of us.
But you knew what she was one.
Yeah, she wanted those pair of boots. So 5 of us, we contributed because it was a big amount to buy those boots. Like one person spending like €70 when you're an intern, you're a student, doesn't make sense. So we contributed, but there were other people who did not contribute, but they got like a gift correspondent to their amount, like how much they would spend or pay.
Yeah, I think I don't think I have done that in Mexico.
Did you celebrate any of your friends' birthdays or like colleagues' birthdays here in France, like your French colleagues? And how did that work?
I didn't celebrate any French colleague. I don't remember I did. But my birthday. But you were there. Yeah. So I made the whole party and I was like, come in, I will have pizza, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think you just have to bring your drink.
Yeah. I still gave you a gift though.
Yes, a returnable gift. Ooh, what is it? It was a gift, and it became a gift.
Yeah, but it was a joke. That's why I brought that gift. Like, but then I gave you a nice kurta as well later as your birthday gift. But
yeah,
because
I will use it at some time in an episode.
Yeah, in one episode you're wearing the thing.
That one and the other one that I got also.
I think the one that I got you is more summery because it's made of
so
cotton.
it's a time.
Yeah, it's a good time to wear it because of the. I particularly like those clothes that we wear because they cover you up till here, but they're not hot.
Yeah, they're breathable.
Yeah, so it saves you from the sun because otherwise you have to be loading sunscreen again and again. But it saves you from the sun, but it also like keeps you cool. So
yes, yeah, but I don't know. I was like, we celebrate this friend, but it's not French.
Yeah, I mean, I had recently there was a friend's birthday, so all of us what we did was we had to bring our own food. It was like a work thing, so. He works in the common space, the co-working space. It was his birthday, so everybody bought something to eat, and one person baked the cake. Yeah, that's it. Like everybody just got their things, and after work at 6 o'clock, we were like, "Oh, happy birthday!" We sang the song, and yeah. And after, I mean, I left early. I had plans that day, but everybody else then they went to a restaurant after, and everybody paid for their own meals. So it was more about celebrating together.
Yeah, no, I got invited to once, but she was like she was trying to get a bar, but then I didn't go, so I didn't know like if I was going to the bar, I would have to pay for my own
drink,
probably, or if it was with the special prices. I didn't go, but but it was the same. Like everyone was chipping in for the gifts, the bigger gifts. So.
Yeah, that is something, it's so confusing as internationals here. Like, do we pay? Do we not? Like, how does it work?
And no one says anything.
Yeah.
It's like,
so that's why we have come up with this podcast, so you can understand when you are invited to a French person's birthday, what to do.
Yeah, or be confused only that like existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, like another thing which is like very quintessentially Indian is, when you cut cakes, okay, one is you smash the cake.
Oh, you do?
You don't do it?
Yeah. I thought I was something like Mexican.
I think everybody does it apart from the French, I guess.
But I don't know.
But like, if you're cutting the cake, somebody will come and like push your...
No, well, I think cutting the cake is one thing. And then there's another like where we say mordida, which is bite.
Yeah.
And everyone starts like, mordida, mordida. It's like, bite it, bite it.
But it's like, bite what?
The cake.
Okay.
The cake. So you have the cake.
Yeah.
And first you have to cut it.
Yeah.
And then it's like mordida.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, no, I don't want to.
But like you cut the cake, you take a piece out and eat it. Like you bite the entire cake.
You have the full cake.
Yeah.
And then because people, at least my family, they enjoy to push people into the cake. It's like mordida, mordida. It's like when the cake has a lot of betún. I don't know if it's the name, cream and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know that your face is gonna get entire full of that. So it's like no, and then the maquillage and like makeup and
maquillage. Okay, Miss French.
So it's like no, and then it's like the pressure is just there, mordida, mordida, and then at some point it's like you get closer to the cake.
Yeah.
But when you are this close, everyone is just like pushing you into there.
You remember that video of Fred Vasseur trying to put Carlos's face in the cake, and because he's a Formula 1 driver, his neck is so strong.
He's so strong that no.
He just like went back, and I was like, bro, that's a Formula 1 driver. You can't push his neck down. Like, no.
Wow, imagine the strength that they might have.
Yeah, like the video, like it just goes this way.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen. I will need to see.
Yeah.
But yes, that happens in our birthdays.
Okay, so one which is very quintessential Indian thing is when you cut the cake, right? One thing is, of course, people are going to try to push your face into the thing, which I hate.
At the same time, when you're cutting the cake, like with the knife in there, what the fuck?
Yeah, which I detest that tradition. And I would, for my birthdays, I would always get 2 cakes. Because if you're going to spear my face, like, I don't want like the good cake to go. Like, right, this has got good flavor, it's on my face. And I think it's very disgusting because you have makeup and everything and it's wasting of food. So I would generally like, okay, this is the piece, I keep this out, and you civilizedly smear my face with that cake, but not the entire thing, which I don't like. So for my birthdays, I would always have 2 cakes, or I would cut the cake and like, okay, this is for smearing on my face, this is for eating. But another thing is that you cut the cake, and you know how you cut the cake and you eat it? In India, there's this entire thing around it that you have to, like, the first bite of the cake, you have to like feed from your hand to them.
Okay.
And it's like whosoever gets the first thing is like, oh, they're the most special person in your life. So it's like an entire hierarchical thing. Like, okay, I cut the cake first. I have to make my mom eat it, then my dad eat it, or like brother.
If you do it on the opposite way, it's like.
I mean, it's more like the first person is like the one you have the most respect or love or whatever. Okay. So it is like there's a huge pressure moment. Like, oh, who do I feed the first bite? And then you have to like go and feed everybody the bite, and they would feed you back. So it's like an entire thing, which I thought was like, a normal thing. And the first time this happened and somebody cut the cake, and I'm like, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So if you cut the cake, it's like, you don't take the first bite yourself. You cut it and then you make the other person, like, you feed it from your own hand.
Wow. It's weird.
I know. Like, it's weird to you, but for us, it's like, we grew up with it.
Yeah. Well, interesting. I didn't know this. It's interesting.
Yeah. So all of us, like, as Indians, we have to unlearn this thing of like feeding other people. And it's so pressureful. Like, okay, it's like a stressful situation. Like, there are 50 people looking at me. Who do I feed first?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the pressure is there because according to whoever you're gonna feed first is the most important for you. So it's
like what?
Your mom is there, your dad is there. I don't know, anyone else who's closer to you, or you're gonna just go.
Yeah, and then it doesn't get over here. Like, I feed you, the same return you feed me. Oh. So you're like feeding everyone like from your hand, and they feed you the reverse. So like you're taking bite with everyone.
Wow.
Which is also like a nice way, because you cut the cake and you're like going to each person to like feed them, they feed you. So it's like bonding that you're part of my life kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it is super weird.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have. I would like to experience that in real life in
Come
India.
To India.
Soon.
I mean, my birthday I'm celebrating in India this year. So
yeah, how convenient. I don't have money and visa. We Mexicans need visa,
but it's online, no?
Yeah, it seems like.
I mean, you just have to pay for the tickets. That's it.
Oh.
I mean, you're going to be staying with me, so your accommodation and your food is sorted.
Oh, what a great deal.
Yeah, you only have to pay for tickets.
Yeah.
And right now the flights.
At some point, I will do. Yeah. I really want to go to India. Yeah. But anyways, so thank you so much for watching another episode of Masala Salsa Podcast. Yeah. You want to say something? I don't know.
No.
If you guys have any questions regarding French culture, mostly, or European, we don't know much, or maybe yes.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you are here and trying to have a different experience with the French people, the local people, and all of that. Yeah. And you will learn a lot of stuff. So
yeah. So any confusions you have, write in the comments. Your experience you want to share, put it in the comments. Maybe somebody might learn from it. Yeah. And you don't do stupid mistakes like us.
Yeah. And don't push the French people into the cake. They will get so annoyed. All right. See ya.
A bientôt. A la prochaine.